I've known Tim a little over a year. I met him initially. He contacted me regarding accounting services. Then we met again at a Glazer Kennedy meeting, which we're both members of. It's a kind of a marketing focus group, and we work on marketing ideas and promotional ideas for each of our respective businesses. Well, it's the Glazer Kennedy organization is all about direct marketing to targeted client groups or targeted customer groups. So within the group, we explore ideas that everyone else in the group has and experiences with marketing their businesses. And as a CPA, I, in the past, have not gotten a lot of exposure to marketing concepts. So it's an educational process for me. I get a lot of great input, and I have learned a lot of things from others in that Glazer Kennedy group that I have applied to my clients. My practice is primarily small business consulting, and I try to take a global view of that and look at product development and targeting products to specific markets, specific customers. And in that regard, the Glazer Kennedy group has been invaluable to me. Plus, I've gotten to meet guys like Tim, and I've learned a lot from him. Tim, within the Glazer Kennedy group, Tim has brought a tremendous amount of marketing experience, technology applications, internet techniques, marketing your website, marketing your product, and then beyond the internet techniques, taking those concepts and applying them to all of your advertising or promotional efforts. So it's a pretty broad spectrum of experience that Tim has brought to the group. Yes, I have been attending I've attended all of the mountain marketing meetups. And I've enjoyed them all, particularly the meeting where the topic of discussion was how to market your website, which I've utilized, gone through that presentation step by step and applied it to myself. I have given that information to multiple clients and encouraged them to do the same, and actually am helping some of them do it. It has a value-added function of mine to my clients. I also have recommended Tim's services to them, and some of them are going to use him. So I'm excited about it. It's good information, immediate impact on your efforts, and I have not found anywhere else to get that type of information and the type of input and the sophistication of pulling so many disciplines together. The information that I've gotten from these meetings, some of it I was familiar with the concept but didn't know how to implement it. Some of the topics I had no idea existed. So overall, it's just been a positive experience, and again, I have gotten feedback and response, and have seen results from these techniques that Tim outlined for us. I engaged Tim to number one, assist me to develop a website and marketing strategy for a new business that I've started, a contract CFO, Chief Financial Officer business. So I had ideas. I had researched competitor websites. I knew what I wanted to say. I knew what my niche was going to be and what markets I wanted to penetrate. I had identified my target customers. So I came into the process, I thought, pretty well prepared. And Tim and the folks at Found Interactive helped me do market analysis. The trick is I can write copy all day long, but I write it from a provider perspective. And everything we do promotionally needs to be written in terms that the customer, prospective customer or client, the words that they want to hear, that address their needs. In that respect, I couldn't have done that myself. I got tremendous amount of input. I wanted a website that was much more than a billboard. I wanted it to almost be a portable to my business. We are also working on restructuring the web presence for my CPA practice and for a small business informational blog that we're getting up and running. All of these efforts linked together. We were able to establish presence in other markets in Northern Virginia and in Richmond for local Google searches, so that we're going to come up in those searches when prospective clients look for our services. So the website is very good. I love it. But there's so much more than the website. There's the marketing thought, the selection of words and phrases, the geographic considerations, the fine-tuning of how we describe our services. That all this goes into it. I hesitate to even discuss it in terms of website construction. It's a marketing plan, and we've taken these concepts and applied them to our print promotional materials, our signage at our office. The Found Interactive folks have assisted me with all of that. By virtue of my profession, I am a technical person. And whether it's taxation or business concepts or troubleshooting or accounting systems, controls, safeguarding assets, negotiating with lending institutions, attorneys, engineers, whatever, I have to be very technical. So it's difficult for me to step over into the marketing area. It's difficult for me sometimes to look at my product or my idea or a service that I want to promote from a third-party perspective, how someone else would see it. So it's very important to me to have someone like Tim that I can call and get an opinion. And so often his responses and ideas hit me like, well, that makes sense. Why didn't I think of that? And it's a real common sense approach, and it's just refreshing to be able to get that input that I'm just, because of the nature of what I do. I mean, my job is to run my business, and Tim's job is to help me communicate that to my prospective client base and my existing client base. So to have someone I can call like Tim, invaluable beyond words. I discuss the concepts that I have learned by working with Tim with many of my business clients. Some are receptive, some are not. Typically, the type of business that is more receptive are the business owners that are more global thinkers, that are more entrepreneurs rather than technicians in their own particular field. All of we small business owners, we have to do the work. But at some point we have to realize that our business, if we are to succeed, is not necessarily that work that we do, but it's the process of doing the work. Our business is really the product. Our business that meets a need in our perceived customer base. And many times this involves an evolution of the business. Maybe the business doesn't end up being exactly the same thing. Maybe, Granddad did it this way and then Dad did it this way, and all of a sudden the world has changed and my customer base has changed and my product has to change. So the type company that or the type of business that would most benefit from Tim's services, it's not an industry specific or product specific answer. It more goes to the personality and how progressive and open-minded the business owner is. And if they have a bigger picture in their mind of what their business is, where it can go, what they'd like to do, but they don't quite know how to put it all together. And I would definitely put myself in that group. I've made a lot of progress, but I still rely on Tim, and I continue to encourage my clients to talk to Tim. Well, I think that I would comment on the professionalism, and I would also comment on the quality of the individual people at Found Interactive. These are people you can trust. If Tim comes up with an idea that I don't particularly care for, it doesn't fit, we have a free interchange of ideas. He says okay, and we go on to the next one, and then maybe a few days later I change my mind. It's a very interactive relationship, and the trust is something that I really treasure. I appreciate the quality of the people involved, and I don't refer services to my clients lightly. I'm very picky, and I want someone that I can trust and someone that I know will take care of my clients' interests like they have taken care of mine. So I'm very happy with Found Interactive in that respect.